All right, back to Remembrance of the Cousin. I'm at Lake Village with my cousin, and my cousin's swimming, and I didn't want to go out on the lake. I wanted to just stay on the beach, but my cousin talked me into going out on the lake on this inflatable raft. So I didn't want to do it, and he talked me into doing it. And then when I was out on the raft, I was like, oh, this is okay. But I still had this fear. I was aware of the fear. I was kind of feeling brave about it, but I was still like aware of the fear because of the possibility of what could happen. I'm trying to remember how I was positioned on this raft. I guess my legs were just dangling over. I might have been laying down at one point, but that definitely would have been risky if I like fell asleep and then fell over. Okay, so something happened, which I only vaguely remember. Um, so this was definitely a risky thing to do, considering I did not know how to swim. This is something that if you don't know how to swim, you should not do this. So this was a learning experience for me. If you don't know how to swim, don't go out into deep water. If you do, wear a life vest. Wear a life vest. So there were no life vests around for me. There was no life vest provided for me. There should have been, but there wasn't any around. So nobody had one. Well, we don't have a life vest, but we have a inflatable raft you can stretch out on. You can sit on. The inflatable raft doesn't do you much good when you fall off of it. So this is what happened. I think possibly maybe I was just like I just kept like getting riskier and riskier. It kept getting more. Maybe I was getting overconfident. So I was thinking, this isn't too. I can do this. I can handle this situation. So I wanted to be brave. So I think maybe I was like maybe I decided to like get down in the water, and maybe I was just like hanging on. Maybe I had my arms over the inflatable raft, and I was maybe just kicking my legs a little bit. Um, so I don't know. This is the vague thing. Like I don't remember exactly what happened, but at some point I was completely under the water, and was I had gotten away from the inflatable raft. So I don't know what happened. I slipped away from it, and I'm under the water, and I remember this. Like at the time, I was thinking it was like seaweed. It wasn't the sea; it was a lake. So I guess it was lake weed. So there were these underwater plants that I was kind of getting caught up in. And I remember like feeling a little bit like I was about to. I guess I was kind of feeling like a panic feeling because I was feeling like I'm stuck under the water. So I was scared since I couldn't swim. So it was kind of like fighting the feeling of just like freezing up, just tensing up under the water, and that's definitely not a good thing if you want to survive. That's the opposite of swimming. So I just, but like just this feeling of just like holding my breath and just like holding my breath. I suppose holding your breath does help you float though. But it just like there's this feeling of holding my breath and just like tensing up and just like being under the water and being like about to panic. But somehow I got away from these underwater plants that were like seaweed. I guess I got unstuck from them. So like it was kind of like a forest under the water. All these plants. So I was scared and I got out of it. I got out of the plants. I, but it was a very scary moment for me and just thinking back on it, like I only vaguely remember this. Like, oh, how did that happen? How did I get out? It's weird to think back on it. But it felt like it was a moment where I could have died. So I was taking a chance that I should not have taken. It was definitely some risky behavior. Something I should not have been doing. But I, I, I guess I got a hold of the inflatable raft and uh, it was just a very scary memory for me. I don't know where my cousin was at this time. I guess he was just off swimming. He wasn't around. Okay, so something else happened, which was much. It was less significant, but I didn't. Hmm. Okay, so this next thing that happened, it had more of like I remember it more. Like I felt I have this more negative memory of it. Like I should have the more of a negative feeling about the other thing because I did. I kind of almost died in the water because I couldn't get out and I was scared. I couldn't get up because I was caught with the plants. Like this should have been more significant than this other thing. But this other thing um, had more of a lasting impact on me because it involved my cousin. Um, so I'm on the raft out on the lake. Uh, I remember there's this like island out on the lake, this little island, and I remember me and my cousin were on the island, just walking around exploring. Hmm. And I don't remember if we were on the island before or after this very bad memory I have happened with my cousin. But so I'm on the raft, and it's by by this island on the lake. So I felt like I was in deep water. I assumed I was in deep water, and I'm pretty sure this happened. This happened after I had already was scared, well, terrified when I was like getting caught up with the plants under the water. I felt like I almost died. So I think this happened after that. So I'm on the raft by the island and by myself, and my cousin was swimming, and he swam over by me, so he was having fun, and he came over to the raft, and he climbed on the raft. So we were both on the raft. Uh, I don't remember trying to describe how big the raft was. So we were both like around 10 or 11, and we were on this uh, inflatable raft. I guess it was kind of like about the length of my bike. What is that, like maybe around 10 feet? It's kind of difficult to estimate. I think I just remember thinking like this is not a two-person raft. It's like it didn't feel safe to have two people on this inflatable raft out on the lake. So like I was already like nervous to begin with, but I was even more nervous with my cousin on the other end of the raft because it was like shaking a little bit, and I was very scared that it would overturn and that I would fall off of the raft. So I was very scared, but my cousin was having fun, and he had I don't know why he did this. He got up on the other end of the raft, and because he was like trying to balance, I'm on the other end of the raft, and I'm wobbling a little bit, and I'm very scared. So he's standing up on the other end of the raft. It's amazing to think, I guess, because we didn't weigh very much. He didn't weigh very much back then. But it's amazing to think that he was able to balance and stand on there without falling in himself. But he was like getting ready to jump off the raft. He wanted to stand up on the other end of the raft and jump off. And I was begging with him. I was telling him to 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 sit down, to not stand up. I was begging with him because like I think I gradually was begging like more and more, like the intensity of my begging increased because he wasn't reacting to me just saying, I don't know if I said please or if I was being rude, I don't remember, but I was like toward the end I was begging with him, sit down. So I was very scared that he was gonna jump off the raft, and the raft was gonna tip over, and I was gonna fall into the water, the deep water. So I was very scared. So I was begging with him, and it took a lot of convincing, but he did sit down on the raft. I guess because he saw how upset I was. But I was very upset. Yeah, I was definitely very upset because I was very scared and because I couldn't swim and I was out in the deep water and I was very scared and I was very angry. Uh, and I was angry at my cousin because I felt like he was threatening my safety at the time. I was thinking, why are you doing this? I don't know how to swim. Why are you scaring me like this? Why are you taking this chance of the raft might tip over if you jump off the raft like this? So I was very angry that my cousin was doing this. But I should have at least recognized that he did sit down when he saw how serious I was, how upset I was. He sat down. He wasn't just like, whatever, I don't care, and then jumping off anyway. So I should have at least recognized that he did listen to me in the end when he saw how upset I was.